Okay, I want to walk through a case from start to finish. This is a patient that's come in. This happens to be my aunt. We did some work on the distal number 14. We used some other remineralizing composites that exist today and did some composite work due to her root decay here. The filling has fallen out and there's additional decay there that's extending down the root. We've determined that the best thing in this case would be to go ahead and deem the tooth non-restorable and then go with removing the tooth and looking at an immediate implant placement. So what I want to do in this case is walk through our plan for number 14, determine if we want to do a plan at number 15, and determine if we can do a tooth on number 14, and how we bring everything together and how we order our surgical guide. So let's go ahead and begin on this case. So here's our scan. So in this particular case, what we did is when she came in, we had no idea what was going on. So we went ahead and took an initial PA of site number 14 because she told us that's the area that was giving her discomfort. So we went ahead and took a PA of that area and then decided to move forward. As soon as we saw the PA, we knew exactly what we were doing. We were going to take the tooth out. So our next step at that point was to go ahead and determine if we could do an implant at the time of placement. Since this is my aunt, finances are certainly not a concern. So we're going to make sure that she is available to whatever is ideal optimal dentistry. So we can take a look here, and and what I like to do is double click on the tooth. So I double click on tooth number 14, take a closer look, and what I'm really looking for here is just kind of see how everything looks. We can see the decay here again. I'm looking for the spread of the roots. I see that we have good bone right here. There is a little bit of a tilt of the tooth right here, so the implant may actually need to go into this area right here. So I'll move my 3D area. So listen, I can already tell you that using the Nobel Active implant, since it's an aggressive implant, very well suited for immediate placements, that this is going to be a great tooth for an immediate placement. I'll take a quick look at site number 15. Number 15, I think, can also have an implant. It may require a little bit of a sinus lift, but very comfortable doing that as well in this particular case. So I don't see any major issues that we'll have to deal with here. So we'll go ahead and go to the implant align view. What I like to go ahead and do here is let's go ahead and plan an implant. Site number 14, implant tab. Click add implant. Click tooth number 14. In this particular case, I use the Nobel Active implant. So we're going to start with a 5 by 11.5. That's my ideal sizing for a maxillary molar. That's my starting point. Go ahead and click OK. Drag the implant up here and go ahead and drop it in place. Now from here, I'll go ahead and move things around as so until we get everything relatively idealized. And I don't like this positioning as much, so we can go ahead and level this out a little bit more, just like so. And there we go. So now, there we go. So now we can start to see the adjacent teeth, the opposing teeth. We can see that our occlusal plane is nice and level. And now we can, kind of get a good idea of what's happening here. We can come here to the occlusal plane, occlusal table, sorry, and we can see that we're coming through the center of the tooth, maybe just a hair to the buccal. So we can just slide the implant back, and now we're pretty much in the dead center of that tooth. So ideally, this is where we'd like to place this implant. Now we can see that we are into the sinus. So I may say, you know what, let's go ahead and drop it down to a 10 millimeter implant. This is going to require a sinus lift. Again, in this particular case, I'm comfortable placing the implant, doing a sinus lift at the same time. The question becomes is how much stability are we going to have? And what I can go ahead and tell you from experience is all of this implant right here will be in fresh bone. There's going to be fresh bone right here. So I would tell you that this implant is going to be pretty darn stable. That's probably a better look at it right there. So we can see fresh bone for these threads, some fresh bone here for these threads. Go ahead and do my osteotomy right to the base of the sinus. Go ahead and gently lift the sinus floor, place a collagen plug, place some bone, push the implant in through the bone, and the implant will push the bone up, and we should be pretty straightforward there. So then we'll go ahead and add an implant on site number 15. In this case, I'm going to ask it to be parallel to it. Since I barely put a 5 by 10 in 14, I'm probably not going to get even a 5 by 10 in number 15. We'll go ahead and place it there. Drop it down like so. Go to my occlusal table view. And I can see we're pretty well centered in that space. And we can see that right there, we're going to have to do a sinus lift. Now we may consider going to an 8.5 millimeter implant here, just to avoid having to do such a large sinus lift, but nonetheless a sinus lift is going to be necessary, so we'll see which one we end up going with. Now from this point everything looks very good. What I would like to do is go ahead and bring in our CEREC data. I apologize here, let me go a little slower. Go to the CAD/CAM tab, import data, know where our data is, and I happen to know where we keep our CEREC data. Click Browse right here, and then here's our patient, and click Open. And now we're bringing in her CEREC file. So on her, I did a full arch omnicam scan of tooth number basically 3 all the way over to 15, including some of 16. Since she has 16, I wanted to get some of that tooth so we could have a distal rest right there, and then get cross arch stabilization. So we have a good good arch here, good everything ready to move forward. Click Next. And then here we need to just double click 2 teeth. I'll do number 14. I'll do number 6. And then in this case, number 11. And I'll also do number 6 right here as well. Just so I like to always have one on both sides. And then we go ahead and click OK, Next. And the software will do an automatic registration. And then our job here is to confirm the quality of the registration. And here we can see that our registration is pretty darn accurate right here to right there. So I'm very confident this. Go ahead and click Confirm. And now we have our CEREC data into our scan. Now we can finalize our implant plan on tooth number 15 based on having the CEREC data. And what we can see here is that our screw axis or our long axis of the implant is slightly lingual, so we can move it that way. But the issue with doing that is that we get too close to the buccal here on this bone. So what I would like to do instead is probably just tilt that implant to the buccal. And the good news is that we know that upper implants or upper teeth are already naturally tilted to the buccal. There we go. And then we can fine tune number 14, and I think it looks pretty good. The last thing I'll do is right click on the 3D view, go to click along active slice, click my occlusal area, and I will come here and make this full screen. And what I will do is actually look at this, what I call down the line. And what I'm looking for here is to make sure, and we can see right here, those teeth are tilted out. The implants are tilted along the same axis to kind of recreate that same issue there. And I am very happy with my plan here. Go ahead and minimize the screen. And then truthfully, we're ready to rock and roll here and order our guide. The only thing I want to change here on number 14 is our bone level is right here. Our implant is above the bone level right now. So I'm going to go ahead and drop our implant a little bit and then expect a little bit of bone loss there. So that's probably more an accurate representation of where we can expect that implant to be placed. Wonderful. So hopefully this has been very helpful to understand how we're doing the planning and everything. And then our next step is to order the surgical guide. I just want to recheck my plan again. Go through number 14, everything's good. We have plenty of bone here. We're coming through the center of the tooth. Looks like we have plenty of bone here to create stability. We need to raise a lift here. I don't think that's going to be an issue. Number 15, I'm not overly happy about the thinness of that right there. So I'll probably cheat a little bit and take that to the buccal. Just want to make sure that we have enough space there, and we do. And that looks a little bit better to me. So I'm going to go with that move instead. Great. All right. So now we'll go ahead and ready to order our surgical guide. So we'll click surgery, go here to order surgical guide, order it. We're going to order OptiGuide www. Click that button, and it's going to walk us through everything here. We're using Nobel implants, so we're going to use a Nobel BioCare surgical guide, and then we're ready to move forward. Click next. I already have my practice information in here. I will ship to myself. I have recurring charge authorized. And then there we go. Our surgical guide is $392. I do agree to the conditions. Click confirm and next. Where to the transfer the order. It's going to save the order in the CCAT orders folder in the C drive under her name. We want to transfer via internet. Click prepare data transfer. So now it's, excuse me, now it is saving the volume and compressing it into a single zip file that will be capable of being transferred via the internet. It's exporting the CAD/CAM data, exporting the implant data, putting everything together into a single file that we can submit to CCAT for a guide fabrication. Now, there are certainly many other options to produce a surgical guide. You can look at the laboratories that print their own guides. Certainly they may be less expensive, but here you can see we're at the 12-minute mark of this video, roughly a little less than that, and we are already ordering our surgical guide. The software automatically pops up the website to take you to the secure HIPAA compliant portal to upload the data. We click that. We go ahead and put our name in here, just like so, my email address, and then we select our file. We go to our C folder, CCAT orders, and there's our patient. Click on the zip file right here, and then click open. And then basically now we're ready to click send. And here we are at the 12.5-minute mark. I'm already ordering my surgical guide, and it's being uploaded securely to CCAT, and they will receive this file today. I will receive a confirmation email from them that the file has been received. I'll receive a confirmation email that they have checked everything and the guide is in order production, and then I will receive an email saying the guide is shipped to you approximately 5 days from now. So while there are less expensive and other alternatives available, certainly to me, the extra $100 or maybe even $150 that this process may cost compared to your low-cost options, the time that you save and the integration and the workflow far outweigh the savings. So hopefully this has been very helpful, and I look forward to providing more videos like this in the future. Thank you very much.